Hi, welcome back to my channel. So a while back I made the video 10 most common mistakes I see English learners make. This is part 2 of that video. This is 10 more common mistakes I see by English learners. So firstly I'd like to say that the purpose of this video is not to make fun of English learners. I make mistakes too, quite a lot of the time when I speak in other languages. It's completely normal. And the purpose of this video is just to show these mistakes for people who maybe don't know the rule, or if they don't know that this is a mistake, it's to show them so they can learn from it. Some mistakes in this video are quite simple, but others are a little complicated and there isn't a simple rule to explain them. I try my best to explain in those situations, but sometimes it's very difficult.
Ing versus to infinitive. This is one of those mistakes which is hard to explain. There isn't a simple rule to remember here. This is where you want to use a verb after another verb or an adjective. For example, are you ready to go? Can you stop doing that? I needed to go. I don't want to risk going too fast. I like to go fishing, or I like going fishing. You can't say, for example, I let him going. Instead, I let him go. I try to delay cleaning. I intend going out. Intend to go out.
So how do you know which to use? Unfortunately, there isn't a simple rule to learn here, and it just requires you to learn and memorize a list of words and memorize which is used for which.
To infinitive. Advise, allow, command, forbid, force, forget, and so on. Ing. Avoid, be used to, delay, escape, finish, forgive, and so on. And then we have the verbs/adjectives that you can use both with. Both. Try, remember, stop, like, and dislike. One thing to note about remember is that the meaning will change depending on which one you use. I never remember to lock the door. I remember locking the door. The first means a task you forgot to complete, and the second means an event you remember that happened in the past. Modal verbs. To explain this as simply as possible, modal verbs are verbs after which you can't use to. For example, can, must, should, will. I can see mistakes like, I must to go, I couldn't to do it. This should be without to. I must go and I couldn't do it. These words are can, could, may, might, shall, should, must, and will. Don't use to after these verbs. Word order. Word order can refer to a lot of things. Here I specifically mean where to put adverbs and mixing up statements and questions. For example, I like very much ice cream. No, it isn't enough big. These should be I like ice cream very much and no, it isn't big enough. Another example, what is his name? His name is. The word order changes based on if it's a question or a statement. A mistake I can see is, I don't remember what is his name. Is this a question or a statement? This is a statement and therefore should be, I don't remember what his name is. If you want to make this a question, then you have to split the sentence. I don't remember. What is his name? Present perfect continuous versus present simple. Present perfect continuous, used to show that an action that has started in the past is still happening, usually to show duration. Present simple, used to show that an action happens on a regular basis, can't show duration. For example, I learn English for 6 months. I live here for 3 years. You need to use present perfect continuous. I have been learning English for 6 months. I have been living here for 3 years. Irregular past tense verbs. Usually to make a verb past tense, we add ed. I defend, I defended. I walk, I walked. However, there are many verbs that don't follow this rule. I take, I took, I break, I broke. I can see mistakes like he stealed it or he teached me. These should be he stole it and he taught me. Double negatives. Using two negatives in a sentence will invert the meaning in English. I don't not know. This means you do know. Some mistakes. I don't have nothing. I can't find him nowhere. These should be I don't have anything. I can't find him anywhere. To complicate this, even some native speakers will speak like this sometimes. There are even lots of songs with double negatives. For example, I can't get no satisfaction, or we don't need no education. Talk, speak, tell, say. These words are very similar to each other, but there are certain situations where we use each one. Firstly, in general, we use talk and speak. Talk, less formal, requires more than one person. Speak, more formal, requires only one person, used with the word language. When talking about specific words, we use say and tell. Say doesn't require a direct object. He said. Tell requires a direct object. He told me. Some mistakes. Can you say me where to go? He told that it was true. These should be, can you tell me where to go? And he said that it was true. Tell sounds way more natural than say to me in the first sentence. In the second, you can't say tell without saying a person or pronoun. If you don't use a pronoun, then you use say. Another mistake. He talked about statistics in his presentation. This is a very minor mistake. It isn't that important, but he spoke about statistics in his presentation is a bit better. There was only one person speaking, and presentations are usually more formal, so spoke sounds better. Uncountable nouns. In English, nouns are either countable or uncountable. Usually things that are too numerous to count are uncountable. Also concepts and things that aren't in the real world are uncountable. Some mistakes. I have a work for you. Can you give me some money? I need them to buy something. I need an advice. These should be, I have some work for you, or a job for you. Can you give me some money? I need it to buy something. I need some advice. Uncountable nouns can't be plural, can't be used with a or an, and can't be used with numbers directly. Explain and pronouns. This is just a very common mistake I see. You have to use to before a pronoun when using explain. For example, he explained to me what I need to do. A common mistake I see is, can you explain me? If you don't use to here, then this is asking for him to literally explain you. You need to say, can you explain to me? Plural adjectives. In other languages, the ending of adjectives can change depending on the gender and the number of the nouns they are describing. In English, though, adjectives will never change even if the noun is plural. An example of this mistake, the 40 years anniversary, a 10 minutes walk. These should be the 40-year anniversary, a 10-minute walk. You can't use an S at the end of an adjective. To put this into perspective, you wouldn't say, for example, there are some great snooze films out. The people are very louds and talkatives here. You wouldn't use plural adjectives here, so why use them when mentioning numbers?
So that's all for this video. I hope this was useful for anyone learning English, and thank you for watching.